I have owned and operated an HVAC business for the past 13 years. And in today's video, I want to talk about the entrepreneurial journey I've had and all the lessons I've learned along the way. There are many experiences that have taught me a lot about business, but also have developed me professionally and personally. So the first thing I want to talk about, and it's not in any particular order, is confidence. The confidence I had at an early age to start a business, because I don't know who sold me the idea that running your own business was the dream, right? However, that was my dream. So I was sold on this idea and I started the business at age 22, at a very young age. And I think that really helped me as a business owner because it helped me just start and go without looking back and looking at any fears. And I always want to think about that as a kid. A kid runs fearless until he falls a few times, until he learns imperfect lessons from imperfect teachers, from teachers or authorities telling him you can't do this, that's difficult, watch out, be careful, or getting burned, right? Like I said, falling and learning from his experiences. And so then confidence starts fading away as a human. And so the same might be about business. The older we get, the less confident we may become in starting our own business, or you get busy with life. But at a young age, you kind of don't have those business bad experiences yet. So I saw my father growing up in the trade, being a technician himself, who had learned everything from his father, being a refrigeration technician. So I knew that this was my calling. I knew that starting a business with my father was it for me. And so I had the confidence to start a business. And now I feel like I have the same confidence after the entire roller coaster ride. I have the same confidence to grow this business if I want to grow it, to hire new people, to train others. I am now to learn this new skill of creating YouTube videos to teach you guys how to become a better HVAC business owner. And it all comes from confidence. So I think it's something that maybe I wasn't going to talk about in any video. But when I was asked the question, what are the lessons I've learned? I think having confidence is a very, very big step in an entrepreneurial journey, especially in HVAC, because we need to become great at the skill we do, which is great technicians. And then we also need to become great business owners, right? So I've actually put together a community where you can collaborate with other HVAC business owners instead of competing, right? And so just check out the link either down below, I set up down below, or on the description, and there you can collaborate with other HVAC business owners. The next thing I want to talk about is wearing all the hats. So my advice would be wear all the hats, even though some people might say you shouldn't be wearing all the hats. You're wearing too many hats as business owners. I would say wear all the hats. Learn how to do every single hat in your company before you start delegating, because the experience I've had is I've delegated marketing. I've burned a lot of marketing dollars and never got any return on investment. I've delegated accounting to where I only meet my accountant at the end of the year, and they're not tax experts, right? And so later on, I learned that you have to be bookkeeping and meeting with your bookkeeper every week. And when you meet with your bookkeeper every week, you can make perfect or financial decisions according to perfect books, right? So by you learning accounting, right? By you learning accounting, what you can delegate, what you want to delegate, and then how to develop checks and balances to where your accountant won't steal from you. It hasn't happened to me, right? But I know horror stories about not accountants, but an employee or a partner stealing from another business owner. And so if you wear that hat, one, you learn how to delegate. Two, you learn what you're not very good at. And so if it's not getting done, I would also say that's what you delegate so it gets done in your business. Accounting is just an example, but it could be sales. If you're not very good at sales or you don't like the sales part of your business, then that's what you would delegate. But at least you learned it, and then you learn to appreciate your sales guy. You learn to appreciate your bookkeeper. You learn to appreciate your technician running late service calls because you've delegated taking yourself out of the field and delegated the service call side to your service call technician, right? But also you want to wear the installation hat. So you know how to delegate very good installs and deliver on what we're in business for. We're in business to deliver great HVACing, right? Great HVAC, great air conditioning, great refrigeration. And so if you don't know how to do that yourself, then it's hard to deliver a great installation. It's hard to deliver a great service call. It's hard to deliver a great maintenance service call, right? And so I would say wear all the hats. Don't become an expert at each of those hats, right? Just wear them, and then you hire the best. You hire the best installers. You hire the best maintenance guys. You hire the best service technicians. You hire the best sales guys, right? So I definitely recommend wear all the hats, and then you delegate what's not getting done in your business. That would be the step to delegating, in my opinion, right? The second thing, along with delegating and wearing all the hats, I would also say be careful who you listen to, right? Because if you're listening to me and you agree, that may gear your business journey a certain way and never delegate it because you're too busy wearing all the hats. So as much as I'm saying, giving my experience, be careful who you listen to, because I've also listened to the great ideas from gurus and started delegating and delegated the wrong way, right? Or I've listened to people that haven't grown a maintenance program, right? And I try to do it that way, right? I've also listened to, oh, my business should be at people's beck and call, right? Be there when people need you. So their urgencies become your urgencies because that's how everybody else is running their business, right? But I would say grow your maintenance list. Okay, there's another lesson I definitely learned. Grow your maintenance list instead of growing your customer list. Okay, if I go back to my very first customer, I would ask them to become a maintenance customer, because that's how you truly know if they're truly your customer or not. Right? By growing your maintenance list, you don't have to spend a lot of money on marketing. Because you just talk to your existing customer base and ask them to replace their AC, to upgrade to UV lights, to upgrade their thermostat. So you don't have to spend a lot on marketing, right? Going back again, be careful who you listen to. If they haven't grown a very good maintenance program, then why would you listen to that person, right? So by wearing all the hats, you know exactly who to listen to. Now let's dive deeper into maintenance programs. Why do you guys think most homeowners don't even know who installed their AC? If you ask any homeowner out there, do you know who installed your AC? 95% of them would not know who installed their air conditioner, right? And that's because the installing company does not worry about going back to that home. They have already made their money on that high ticket installation, and maintenance and service calls are low ticket for them, right? However, when you focus as a small business on maintenance programs, right, you can have that installed AC as a customer for many years. So let's say you install the AC and then you continue going to that home to do maintenance. And let's say if you're not the installing company and you go there as a service call to fix their AC, and you offer them maintenance, you just took that one customer out of the marketing, right? All the other companies in your city, and now you have them in your ecosystem. And at year 9 in our business, we're getting all the phone calls in the world about, with many offers about selling my business to private equity or bigger players in our city. However, the reason why I decided not to sell was because I realized that we had a great brand in our city, but also that we had a very good maintenance program when they offered a higher multiple, right? A higher number for my business when they saw that we had a very good existing maintenance program. So what I learned in these 13 years of business is that your customers are not your customers unless they are subscribed to you, right? So that's why Amazon has Prime. That's why Sam's Club has a membership, right? So nobody is your customer unless they're subscribed to you. So in the HVAC world, in the HVAC industry, our subscription model is a maintenance program. So by having them on a maintenance program, they're subscribed to you. They're yours. They're your customer. You own that relationship. So therefore, you don't need any marketing to grow your business, right? You don't need to fire technicians during the slow season because you don't have a slow season. You have maintenance. You're doing maintenance every October, November, and those same maintenance customers repeat March and April. That's 4 months out of the year. And then there's 4 months of hot season, 4 months, 3 months of cold season. You're busy all year round, all because of a successful maintenance program. So just like I said, subscribing is your audience, right? That's who own that's the relationship you have. So please subscribe so I know that you guys, that I'm creating these videos for the right audience. If you like what I'm showing you guys, my experience throughout these 13 years and what I'm going to continue building, subscribe, because I'm going to be creating more and more videos with you in mind, right? And your comments will also give me that feedback of what videos to continue making. So along the same line of customizing your business is get paid before running a service call. Get paid for that diagnostic before even running that call. You know how many contractors run so many service calls and they don't even charge their customers for it because they, once they get home at 11 p.m., last thing they want to do is send out invoices, right? Or at 7 p.m., last thing they want to do is send out invoices. They want to have dinner with their families. Or if they're not, if they're single, they want to have drinks with their friends, go out with their friends, go play sport, go to the gym. And so they don't even invoice for the jobs they've already done. But if you at least invoice out the diagnostic, then you already have half the invoice already created. All you have to invoice is for the repair, right? So I would always say invoice first, invoice the diagnostic, or get prepaid for some services that we already offer, like replacing a thermostat or duct cleaning. Find a good price for one system, two systems, or three system homes, etc., and give that price on the phone. Be okay with selling a service before you go out there, and you might find a surprise, but you don't have a huge accounts receivable department chasing customers, collecting, trying to collect, right? So that's part of customizing your business that I learned later on, that thanks to Amazon and Uber, people are used to giving out their credit cards and prepaying for a service. So if people are used to prepaying for their services, take advantage of that and get prepaid for the services we provide. And that way your company has the money and the financials to pay your team well. And if you pay your team well, they can service our customers excellent, provide excellent service, right? And so that leads me to my next topic. My next point that I've learned in 13 years of business is community, right? It's less focus on myself. I learned to. It used to be, oh, I want this for my business. Oh, we want the newest tool, the better tool, the better van, right? And so it became less on the focus on myself and more focus on others, right? It's about my technicians, their kids, their families, right? It became about them. If I can help them grow, they're gonna help my business grow. And if I'm focused on them, they will take care of customers. And so therefore it became less focused about myself and more about them and my community. And so that also meant elevating my prices. When I price out jobs, right, it's not just parts and labor, right? Parts, labor, and overhead. It is about being able to pay them well so they're working at the best company they could possibly work for, because I'm not charging a lower price, right, at my employee's expense, right? I say that because that's a contractor mistake a lot of people make, a lot of contractors make. They'll charge lower prices at the expense of the livelihood of their employees. And I'll repeat that again. They charge lower prices at the expense of their employees because they don't pay them well. They don't have the benefits for them. They don't put them in newer vehicles, in better work environments, right? So by focusing on community and about making my business about them, I was able to grow our business and maintain very, very good technicians, highly skilled technicians that can better serve our customer, right? So it's a full circle. And then the last thing I want to talk about is financials. By having good financials inside your business, you have a very good snapshot on where your business is every single day. You can bill faster, you can maintain memberships easier, maintenance memberships easier. You can pay your technicians, your staff, right? By having very, very good financials. And so the software we use for our business for many years was QuickBooks, right? Very good accounting software. So we did that very, very early on. However, we transitioned away from them because they were just a software company. They did not have a maintenance program. They did not have dispatching software where it's notifying the customer that we're on our way, that the technician leave a review for our technician, right? So the software we later on transitioned to is House Call Pro. It might not be for you, right? Because it does have its pros and its cons, but you definitely need the software to have smart financials, right? And spending a lot of time learning to use the software takes time. And as it updates, as they get new features, you need to learn them too. So software is a very, very important piece of the puzzle in having very, very good smart financials. So at the end there, I wrapped it up because I feel like I can talk shop every single day and talk for many, many hours about the lessons I've learned in 13 years of business. But for the sake of this video, I wrapped it up at the end. But if you want to know more about my business experience, comment below, ask some questions. I personally will respond to them. And if you want more personal access to myself and other HVAC business owners that are collaborating, we have a community that I'm growing of like-minded HVAC business owners that like to collaborate versus compete. What's working for us and what's not working for us, what lessons we've learned throughout the years, and what we wouldn't do, and what we need to continue doing. So the link is down in the description, and thanks for watching. See you on the next video.